Well, hey, howdy. Welcome back to the Camp Boondog Workshop. We're going to talk a little more about this 316 shade that we're restoring. Last video, I showed you how to put a new bead on the end. This guy has another issue that we weren't even aware of when we first looked at it. The crown should have 4 little rectangular holes like this that a clip goes in, which holds the ring in the dome. Out of everything on this lantern, this is the single most poorly engineered thing from Coleman. Everything else was good and solid. This is our first try at a portable lantern, so you can't really, be too upset about it. But those clips, just hanging onto a thin layer of brass, have to support the weight of the shade. On this particular lantern, one of the issues we're dealing with is that all the metal parts were thoroughly rusted out. The clips, the bracket that held these clips was metal. As the metal rusted and expanded, it caused the clips to tear out those rectangular holes. We only had one left. So what I have to do is put almost like a bandage type deal on that. Something that looks like this. The way I make that, I use my little press there, put a piece of copper in, put that together, smack it with a sledgehammer, and I come out with this shape embossed in a sheet of copper. Then I have to cut out the center and trim the outside. So what we're going to do with this, I should be on my tripod, but I'm not, so I got to hold the camera and do this. This is going to come underneath here. See how that fits in there? And it's going to be soldered in place. And before I do that, I'm going to trim those little rectangular holes in it. After it's soldered, I'm going to close up this gap between the brass ring and the copper ring. This will support the shade and get us back to the point where our where'd that thing go? I don't want to step on it. Back to the point where it should be, so we can mount the ring. Doesn't look like much of a part, but it took an hour and a half to make this sucker. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. It's going to have that ring coming up there. Alright, here's one of my 316s, and the ring is embossed in the shade. The way I do this differently is, instead of cutting a hole and putting a bracket through, I put a lip under here, drill a little hole and secure it with a screw and a nut. That way the weight is supported by much more metal and it's not going to tear out like that. Anyway, so that's where we're at. Oh man, there we go. That's where we're at on this one. I'm going to solder all that in place today and finish cleaning it up. As I said, this was something we didn't even look at when we were first looking at everything that needed to be done. But it's coming along. The shade has no stress cracks on it, so it's worth the effort to save it. But the thing is, this ring strengthens the shade. The shade itself, I don't know if you can see this. See how soft that metal is? There's not much strength in it until you have that ring going all the way around, and that stiffens it. Anyway, we're going to save this old guy. It's going to be beautiful when it's done, and I'm having fun doing it. Alright, that's it. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.